Assalamu alaikum, Sayyidi.
Walaikum salam.
Sayyidi, are mRNA inoculations fitna of the Dajjal?
Yeah, we don't want to name specific things, but you can bet there's something funny in them. That any time you want to go into the DNA and to manipulate or introduce a code, because think of ourselves, because we're not understanding as humans, we're a computer, we're a device that Allah has created, and our hard wiring is our DNA. And this was a proof of God's existence because it's a book, and all scientists know that the DNA actually is a coded book that says everything about that creation, what it's going to do, how it's going to do, what it's going to be manifest as, everything is in that kitab. So anytime you have a code and someone wants to introduce new lines of code, well, what's happening? It's a parasite, right? So the concept of a parasite, or what we described in the talks of the virus. So when somebody had a computer, what was the introduction of a virus? It's an outside element coming into your computer to overtake your screen, your keyboard and your device. So computers and Microsoft, they were very familiar with this concept of viruses because they first used it in computers. So when I sell 100 computers and I want to sell 200 computers, I'm going to have to go into your computer, break it so that you want to buy another 100. So there has to be an outside force entering in. When it enters in, it overtakes all of the system, overrides the system and brings it down the way it wants. And as a result, computer companies were using that to sell operating systems, upgrade operating systems. So they were very familiar in that system. Implementing that upon humans was the same. When they want to manipulate the human, then you study parasites. And it's very well known now, Allah has creatures that if that worm comes into you, bites your nerve, it can begin to overtake your function. So they have creatures that come into bodies, parasites now, organic parasites, that they enter into somebody and they can no longer move, their nerve system begins to fall apart. If a tick comes in and begins to introduce a parasite into the body, all sorts of diseases come. So there are many existing parasites now with that same understanding. They enter into a human and they begin to overtake the systems. How a little worm is overtaking your entire neurosystem. So they have that. When they understood that, then the false manipulation can take place. They can introduce a parasite that can enter into the human being and begin to overtake its functionalities. So these technologies and this age that we live in is a Dajjal time.